Hi, this is Yingge from Art of the Brush. In this video, we will introduce the tools and the materials that we will be using during Oriental brush practice. As important as learning the painting skills, to have the proper tools and materials is also very important. Not only because of different quality and types suits different painting, but also when a practitioner get to know and used to some brushes or materials, you will feel you start to make a new friend. So in this video, we will cover the tools and materials for the brush painting in different situations. Here are the 3 items that we use for the basic warm-up and brush exercise. Yes, you're right. There's no ink, so we only use fresh water to practice. You may ask, how? And that's the answer. That is made like the ancient paint scroll. This is a reusable writing mat that we use water to practice on the surface, that it will disappear after a few minutes, so we can come back and practice again using the same surface. Some of my practitioners told me they put this in their office or at the desk. So whenever they have a chance during the meeting's break, they roll it out and just use the water, and they will do a few strokes and to feel relaxed and grounded. And here, these are the basic items you can start to practice East Asian calligraphy with ink. And now I will introduce them one by one. First, let's talk about brushes. So there are many different brushes, different sizes. From ancient time, in tradition, there are only 2 types. Can you see the difference? Directly, you can see the different colors and the brush strength, the hair. And that's right. So traditionally, there are hard brush and soft brush. So for this type of brush, it has brown hair. So traditionally, it's made from animal hair, for example, weasel, horse, or even rabbit. The color are typically brown, and if you flap it with your finger, they have very good resilience and flexibility. It's good to paint sharp lines, for example, calligraphy lines and bamboo leaves, so the tip flip back very quickly. And the other one is this soft hair. It's made with sheep hair or goat hair. It's very soft, and also it has the ability to absorb a lot of water and ink and carry it in the brush. It's good for brush painting like birds and flowers, and also to apply colors and doing the renderings or color wash. One way to choose a brush is to put a finger in the brushes, and you can see it forms a nice edge, the line at the bottom. And when the brush is wet and damp, it forms a nice tip at the top. And that are the qualities of a good brushes. Is there a way to combine these 2 qualities together? The answer is yes. So later, there's a new invention that's called a combined brush, a mixed brush. If I open the brush tip, you can see inside there is the brown hair, and outside are the soft hair. This type of brush combines the 2 qualities from these 2 types of brushes, and is one of the most useful brushes that I find both in calligraphy and brush painting. And for the purpose of calligraphy practice, I will recommend this type of brush to start with. You can choose a brush with a hair between 3.5 to 4.5. Now we will talk about ink. Here I will mention 3 types of ink: the solid ink, bottle ink, and color ink. This is the black ink in the bottle. It's liquid, so you can use the ink straight from the bottle by pouring it in a container. It's very simple and easy to use. You can start your practice in seconds. So I will recommend this for anybody who would like to start to try brush practice. It's a more accessible and affordable option. Ink containers are to hold pure black ink. So here I have the 2 are both ceramic. One is a small dish and another one is a small ink container with a brush pillow. This is to hold the brush during the practice. Right side, this is a normal drinking cup. It has a very long, tall body. The reason why I recommend this type of jar is when we load the brush with water, our brush will be slightly tilted. So when we are loading, you can see my brush can get in touch with the water fully. And instead, when I have to dip in, I'm mainly tapping at the brush tip. If you just first start to practice calligraphy and don't want to get too entangled with materials, you can start with this A4 paper or even with the newspaper. It's good enough to let you to get the feeling of the practice. However, when your practice progress, you may like to try rice paper or xuan paper. So xuan is a city in China where ancient time is very well known for producing xuan paper. Here I will briefly introduce these 3 types of paper. Traditionally, there are 2 types. One is called shengxuan, that is the raw xuan paper. And another one is called shuxuan, the sized, or they say cooked xuan paper. The difference between these 2 is the process. So the raw xuan paper is not treated. It's soft and very absorbent. It is useful for different type of brush painting, especially freestyle painting. And the shuxuan, the size, the paper, has been treated, so the surface is not very absorbent. This type of paper typically used for gongbi style. That is a very fine, detailed style of painting. And in the middle is called semi-sized xuan paper. It combines the qualities of the raw xuan paper and also the sized xuan paper. It's very beginner friendly. It can be used for calligraphy or ink painting. If you have the above materials, you're already very well prepared to start your East Asia calligraphy practice. And here are some additional materials you may like to add on your calligraphy practice. Wool felt. They come with different sizes and different colors. And you can also find some white ones or the one with guidelines. When we use rice paper, we place a wool felt under the rice paper to protect the surface. And it helps to keep the ink on the rice paper. The only thing to mention here is if you are using a wool felt that has a dark color, you just need to be aware that when the painting is wet and damp, the color tends to be darker. So when it's dry, it will be much lighter. Paperweight is a heavy object, typically is made from wood or metal. Alternatively, you can also use something you can find in nature, like a rock with a flat surface. We'll talk about Oriental brush painting supplies. We'll enter into a different world. There are so many different options. However, based on what's the process you are at this moment, you can choose the material that suits you at this stage. And when you start to progress later or want to try different types of painting, and then you can add the materials you need. The most important thing is enjoy and have fun. Thank you for watching. I see you soon.